Why is vitamin D so important? And as easy as it may sound to get enough of, why is at least 2/3 of the US population deficient? It's not talked about nearly as often as it should be for all the benefits it provides. For starters, vitamin D is not really a vitamin, it's a prohormone. Prohormones are substances that the body converts to a hormone that is absorbed along with fats in the diet and can be stored in the body's fatty tissue. Which is why vitamin D is fat-soluble and can be stored, unlike water-soluble vitamins like C, B6, and B12. Even though small quantities of vitamin D can be obtained from food, the primary sources of it are exposure to the right kind of sunlight and supplements. But not all sunlight is the same. Only in the presence of UVB rays from the sun can vitamin D3 be synthesized from cholesterol in the skin. And only during certain windows of time throughout the year, depending on how far north you live, can you get those UVB rays. That's why it's critical to supplement, and here are the benefits to your body. Vitamin D receptors are present in most tissues and cells in the body, which is an indication that there is a very long list of things it does and facilitates. One of the most important functions of vitamin D is the maintenance of calcium and phosphorus levels in the blood. It benefits bone health by promoting the absorption of these minerals. So function number 1, calcium and phosphorus absorption for bone strength and health. Next, according to loads of peer-reviewed studies, vitamin D is necessary for the proper functioning of your immune system, which is your body's first line of defense against infection and disease. Vitamin D is known to enhance the function of immune cells, including T cells and macrophages, that protect your body against pathogens. In fact, low levels of vitamin D have been associated with increased susceptibility to infection, disease, and immune-related disorders. According to studies, low vitamin D levels are associated with an increased risk of respiratory diseases, including tuberculosis, asthma, and COPD. Deficiency has been also linked to decreased lung function, which may affect your body's ability to fight respiratory infections. So, number 2 is immune system function. And finally, vitamin D has been shown to activate genes that release neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which affect brain function and development. Researchers have found vitamin D receptors on a handful of cells located in the same regions of the brain that are linked with depression. So think about seasonal affective disorder, a mood disorder featuring depressive symptoms that occurs during the times of the year when there is relatively little sunshine, coinciding with the sudden drop in vitamin D production in the body. Or even in places known to have frequent overcast and cloudiness. Several studies have suggested that the symptoms of SAD may be due to changing levels of vitamin D3, which may affect serotonin levels in the brain. So even though we haven't always really known the data and details behind the sun making us feel better and improving our mood, we've always kind of known inside that it was important. So there's contribution number 3, mood. Wrapping all this up, let's go through some final data points to share why it is critical that you supplement vitamin D. The first important thing to know is that the complexion of your skin influences the rate at which you produce vitamin D when you are exposed to the right spectrum of sunlight. In short, the melanin in the skin serves as a regulation mechanism to ensure that those who are ancestrally from equatorial zones produce less vitamin D because of constant exposure. And fair-skinned people are able to produce more because of limited exposure as they move to higher latitudes. The second thing that builds on the first is how much do you really produce? If you're fair-skinned, experts say going outside for 10 minutes in the midday sun in shorts and a tank top with no sunscreen will give you enough UVB exposure to produce about 10,000 international units of vitamin D. The third thing is about supplementation. This is not a prescription for any particular dosage, but based on the numbers we shared in the previous part about what your body would produce with normal exposure, it's recommended that you take 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. Almost all of the supplements you'll find will be in small capsules that includes a drop of coconut oil or vegetable oil, because it's fat-soluble and is more easily absorbed when packaged that way. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing. If you have subscribed already, click the bell to get notifications when new content is posted, so you can keep all aspects of your health in focus.